Hey guys, today I decided to film a video. I want to do something a little bit different. So instead of doing something on me, I decided to do something on my husband. So he was a good sport. He absolutely hates being in front of the camera by any means. He absolutely hates it. So I'm really proud of him because he did pretty good. So we decided to do this little bit of a messy, little gory scratch. I don't really know what I'm going to call it yet. I just want to do something fun, something, you know, to kind of get us in the spirit. And I wanted to incorporate him. I just thought that would be a good idea.
It's something.
He's not thinking the same thing right now. If you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe. If you want to see anything else I have on my channel, just stick around. And if you want to see how we got this look, just keep on watching. Okay, so I just went in with a little bit of Vaseline on his eyebrow hairs, his eyelashes, and a little bit on his facial hair, just to make sure I get all that covered and the latex doesn't peel it off in a little bit. I went in with the white eyeliner and kind of mapped out where I wanted the cuts to be. I knew I wanted the big one in the middle and then just to have like two smaller ones on the outside. And also keep in mind that you make sure that you keep them spaced far enough apart that whenever you go in with the latex, it's going to have enough room to kind of spread out and you're going to have enough room to work it and build it up. Okay, so then I went ahead and put a little bit of the Mehron Latex. I just got it at a Halloween store. I just went ahead and put that on the outside of all of the, where I put the white eyeliner. I just put it all on the outside of each one. Okay, so I just went ahead and took some rolled up cotton and put it on the outside of those cuts, just on top of where I laid that latex, making sure that the inside of the cuts, that the cotton is still like up a little bit, so it kind of mimics where a cut would be opening. And then next I just went in with a little bit more latex on top just to make sure everything is sealed in. Make sure you give it a good coat, and then also just to make sure that the edges, the outside edges, are flattened. That way it just looks a little bit more realistic. I did add just a little bit of latex to the inside of the cuts to kind of give it a little bit of texture. then I went in with the blow dryer just to make sure everything was dry, because you don't want to start on another layer of liquid latex until the previous one is dry. And then I went in with my last layer and just made sure that all the edges were blended and make sure I didn't miss any spots and that everything was just completely sealed in. And I did use my fingers to blend out the edges because it just kind of helps you a little bit more than the brush does. And then I went in with a heavy amount of translucent powder to make sure I got rid of all the stickiness and the shininess of the liquid latex. And then I went in with my tweezers just to kind of pull open the cuts a little bit more and just make it a little bit more uneven and kind of jagged. So I powdered that again just in case anything that I pulled up exposed any of that sticky latex or anything like that. And then I took some concealer on a sponge just to even out the latex and kind of make it look a little bit more realistic, like his skin tone. Also, in this next clip, it's going to look like I skipped way ahead, but I just had kept adding color and didn't really like the way it came out. So instead of starting from scratch, I just kind of am going to go ahead and just tell y'all how I would do it if I did it again. So I'm going to go in with a brown eyeliner, and I'm just going to put that all over around the cuts and kind of like on the edges of the cuts, just to kind of give it some texture. But when I was adding just the eyeshadow, it just wasn't enough depth, so I would just go straight in with the eyeliner. That way you avoid having to just keep going back in. And then I'm going to take that eyeliner again and just kind of add some depth inside the crease of the cut, so that when you go back and you add the red and everything, it just kind of gives you a little bit more depth and makes it look a little bit more realistic. And I just roughly blended that out with the sponge just to kind of make it look messy and just not too perfect. And then I just went in with some dark brown and some purple eyeshadows inside and outside of the cuts just to give it some more depth and dimension. So then I added some red eyeshadow to the inside of the cut, and also make sure that you add some of those eyeshadows, and especially the red, to the inside flap of the cuts to make it look like it's kind of coming up still. And just keep adding depth until you're happy with how it looks. deeper red lipstick to the inside because it makes it look a little bit more realistic. It adds a little bit of shine, and it also just adds, of course, more depth. And I just took some blood. This one's from the Halloween store. It's called Bloody Scab. It's the kind that you just put in hot water, and it makes it a little bit easier to work with. But it's very sticky, very kind of thick. And so I just put it inside all the cuts, and I also made sure to kind of smear it around outside and make it look a little bit more realistic. And just put it all over randomly, just kind of where I felt it needed to go. And make sure that it's messy. I blended it out in some places with my fingers, and then in some places I just kind of ran it across with a knife. Also, be careful if you're using a knife around someone's face. But yeah, so. So that is pretty much the end of the video. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you got something out of it. If you do recreate it, please tag me on Instagram. I would love to see it. If it inspires you to do something, please tag me in it. I would love it. So yeah, thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed it, please give it a like, subscribe. If you have any other requests, please go ahead and leave them down below. And I will see you on my next video. Thanks. Bye, guys. So I realized that I went ahead and cut it off before you got to see. He already took it off. Ooh. He already took it off of his eyelid, but I did want you to kind of see it a little bit more up close so you can kind of see a little bit more detail. I know I'm probably shaking. Just wanted you to see a bit more detail because I realized it was kind of far away. So yeah.
I got enough detail.
So I decided to...
Alright, let's get on track.
Okay. So, if you like this video,
Allie,
I got this.
think about what you want to say before you say it.
I do, that's the problem.